Assalamu alaikum and welcome. My name is Isra Naz and my topic of presentation is image super resolution. This presentation is divided into two parts. In the first part, I am going to discuss what is image super resolution, its importance and applications. And second part will consist of discussion of a very fine research paper with implementation of its proposed techniques. So let's begin with the first part. Let's imagine you are on a walk somewhere and you took a very nice picture of that place with your low resolution camera cell phone, and then you came back and you want to display that beautiful picture on your big nice HD TV screen. Now the problem is you have a good resolution cell phone, but basically you have a small image that you are trying to fit to a large TV screen, and that's going to produce the blurry image. Like that, image super resolution is about taking a small image and making it larger without losing much of the detail. So basically, image super resolution is to restore or reconstruct higher resolution images from a low resolution image. Super resolution can be categorized as multi-frame or single frame based on the input low resolution information. Like the first image show the multi-frame super resolution in which multiple images are used as input to produce a high resolution image. And the second category is single frame super resolution in which mostly a single image is passed to a neural network to produce a high resolution image. Neural networks are to be seen as a computer that perform mathematical operations on an input to accomplish required tasks efficiently. Now neural networks have been really good at visual tasks like classification and segmentations. To reframe this neural network problem from a task such as super resolution, we start the neural network with a small image and produce a bunch of operations on that small image to produce the large image. The experimental result shows that neural network produce much better high resolution images that are less blurred. And to make images more realistic, generative adversarial networks are used, which are called GAN. Both multi-frame and single-frame super resolution have significant application in our daily life. Like super resolution is used in satellite image processing, medical image processing, multimedia industry and video enhancement to produce better result. Now let's move toward the second portion of my presentation. The paper which I will discuss is ESR-GAN, which is Enhanced Super Resolution Generative Adversarial Network. This paper was published on 2018 and it won the first place in the Perceptual Image Restoration and Manipulation Super Resolution Challenge. PIRM Super Resolution Challenge compare and rank method for perceptual single image super resolution. This paper improved the result of generative adversarial network. ESR-GAN somehow got popular in gaming community, people starting using it to upscale vintage games, and it worked pretty well. Surprisingly how well it worked on video game graphic despite being trained only on natural images. Now let's take a look at what enhancement the ESR-GAN paper proposed for better result. First, they remove the batch normalization layer in their network architecture, and for image processing related tasks such as super resolution or image restoration in general, batch normalization can create some artifacts. They also added more layers and connection to their model architecture, and it is not surprising that a more sophisticated model resulted in better images. But deeper can be trickier to train, especially if they are not using batch normalization. So the authors of ESR-GAN used some tricks like residual scaling for stabilizing the training of such a network. In addition to the changes in the model architecture, they also modified the loss function. For example, they modified the VGG loss in a way that compared the feature map before activation. Their main logic was that the feature maps are denser and contain more information before they get clipped by the activation function. In the original SR-GAN paper, the discriminator model was trained to detect whether its input is real or fake. But in this enhanced version, the authors of ESR-Jan used a relativistic discriminator that tells whether the input looks more realistic than fake data or less realistic than original data. For super resolution, we want the upscaled image to be faithful representation of the originals while having good looking textures. The ESR-Jan aims to find the sweet spot by interpolating between models. So what they do is that they compute the weighted average of two models, one trained using mean square error and the other fine tuned with adversarial training. Blending the parameter this way allows for finding the right balance between the two models without retraining them. The dataset they used were DIV 2K dataset, Flickr 2K dataset, and the outdoor scene training dataset for training. And for evaluation, they used benchmark dataset and the PIRM self-validation dataset that were provided in the PIRM Super Resolution Challenge. This is the visual comparison of proposed method, which is ESR-Jan, with other techniques, and the result shows that ESR-Jan produce better high resolution image than the other techniques. This is also the comparison result of the ESR-Jan, and which show the better performance of this proposed technique. The authors also observed that training a deeper network benefits from a large batch size. Moreover, the deeper model achieve more improvement than the shallower one, since a large model capacity is capable of taking full advantage of larger training batch size, such as the evaluation is shown in this picture. Now let's move toward the demo of implementation code. The ESR-Jan was implemented in Python and used the libraries of PyTorch, OpenCV, and NumPy. This code is available in GitHub as shown here. All the necessary files are included in it for testing of ESR-Jan. This is the hierarchy of the project. It has multiple folders like LR, models, and result. The low resolution test images are in LR folder as shown here, and the result folder is created to store the result. Here I have opened the test.py script for testing the result of ESR-Jan. First they add the necessary modules in it like OpenCV and NumPy, PyTorch. I have used the pre-trained model which is kept in the models folder, and I am running it in on CPU, but you can also run it in GPU. This script loads the low resolution test images one by one and pass it through bunch of operation, and at the end resultant images are stored in result folder. For writing the images, IMWrite statement is used. This shows the input and output result. On the left is the input image of baboon and on right is the resultant image. Thank you so much for your listening. If you have any further query, you can ask me anytime. Do subscribe my YouTube channel. Take care and Allah Hafiz.